talk that much, so if you know me, I didn't have anything planned, so I chat GPT'd something while I was sitting down. So I'm going to see what it came up with. It says, I should thank the Bones Brigade, Powell Peralta, Vans. I should plug my pizza joint, Pizzanista. And then it says, P.S., don't worry, Ray Barbier, I had your board on 8th Street and Powell. Not even ChatGPT gets it right. Jeez. Okay, those are 3 different colored people in one person, for those of you that don't know. We come from that era where it was like, if you demoed, I signed a lot of Ray Barbie boards. And I think last Skateboard Hall of Fame, Van Doren was like, I've been sending checks the wrong place. I got a big tab at Vans, sorry Ray, but I'm gonna jump right into it. There's a lot of people I gotta thank, okay? You know, I come from Louisiana, so it was Baton Rouge, super small town. We had 3 skateboards that we passed around. An Elgato. Yeah, this is when you could borrow boards. You're like, can I borrow your board on Friday? There was an Andrecht and a Steve Olson. Not the shorties, the Santa Cruz Steve Olson. And what an incredible journey. I said, hey, Mom, I'm going to go to California. I got a place to stay. I'm going to go to stay out there for a couple of weeks. And I didn't. I just jumped in a VW van with a groupie that was a groupie of Ted DiBiase, the wrestler. So, you know what that is. That's crazy. She had a scorpion tattoo on her butt. And it was awesome. I don't mean any disrespect. You just got to understand where I'm coming from. So I jumped in that van, and look, along the way, I got to really shout out Scooter. Remember Scooter? Let's hear it for Scooter. Scooter's ramp. Yeah. Long live Scooter. I didn't have a place to stay, and he just let me stay at his house with his mom, and they had that refrigerator that had everything in it, and you could eat it. No one said anything, and they left the house and let me stay there. So I really got to thank Scooter and the Anderson family and the Miller family. And I'm going to back it up. There was some shops that were really cool. Remember when skate shops were skate shops, when you could touch a shirt? They were like, what are you doing? You unfolded it? Are you serious? Yeah, skate shops. And they flew out, all these great people. Got to see the Bones Brigade. Got to see Vallely. We made him come out 8 times over and over and over again. But I want to shout out Surf and Skate. I want to shout out Bicycle Source. I want to shout out Pacific Drive. I want to shout out Jim. And I want to shout out Humidity, who keeps everything going. And, I'll go back to the journey. It was just great. I mean, how did I know I ran into Eddie. I rode for the same team as Eddie. Wow. To me, I was like, that's bragging rights where I'm from. I was like, you won't believe it. I was like, Andrecht. I was like, Dave Andrecht. I was at H Street. The guy comes out of the office looking like a Kinko salesman with a tucked-in shirt, topsiders, and I'm like, dude, that guy can still ride. And I would tell that story all the time. I'm like, that is insane. And then one of my great friends, Steve Olson. This is just awesome. I mean, I didn't know how to go front side in pools, which I still kind of don't, because we didn't have that many, and it was a treat to have him, and he still does make fun of me every time we go to a pool. But I like to think that's where I learned how to somewhat carve. So I'd really like to shout out the guys from the 80s, everybody that was on a VHS or Betamax tape. You were my best friend in high school. Geraldo and you guys is all I looked at. And I really got to break it down. I mean, I was fortunate enough to skate with NoHo from time to time now, but as a kid, I knew him as a guy that did the front side grind to fakie. So that's where we all took it. I knew Malba from staring at the Chicago. I had one videotape, the Chicago Blowout. So I worshipped Fedge. I knew Malba from doing a rock and roll shuffle. Studied every street skating video that I could get a hand on. My Trick, Danforth, Nose Pick on a Curb, Lucero. I mean, the list could just go on. So I'm just humbled because I don't take that stuff lightly. So every time I see these guys, it's like, it's unbelievable. You'd have to be where I'm from to really understand that, but it's truly an awesome thing, and I'm really glad that some people thought of me and put me in somehow with these people. So thank you all.